Alright, what's up guys, I'm back with another video. Now I didn't actually plan to make a video on this update because it wasn't really a big update and there wasn't a whole ton to discuss, but somebody had pointed it out to me that in one of my previous videos I mentioned that I would make a video on it. It was kind of unintentional, but here goes. Update 3.7 saw the introduction of some new characters, some new uniforms, a couple little tweaks, and that's about it. So first up we have Adam Warlock. Now you're able to acquire him only by buying the chest in the shop for 6,600 crystals. Keep in mind that this isn't a chest at random like the Ultimate chest was, so you are guaranteed a 3-star Adam Warlock, and then you gotta rank him up from there using Black Antimatter and Chaotic Nornstones. And I just want to mention something real quickly. Now they do state that you get 1,100 crystals back when you buy this 6,600 crystal chest, which is something that they've been doing for a while now, and I don't really like when they do this because they make it seem to everybody that the chest is actually cheaper. You know, it doesn't cost 6,600, it only costs 5,500 because you get some crystals back. However, the fact of the matter is, in order to buy that chest, you still gotta pay the full amount of crystals. You still gotta go out of your way, not just buy the $50 crystal package, but you gotta buy the $10 package too. You gotta give Netmarble an extra 10 bucks and then they'll give you the in-game, pixelated currency in return. But anyways, I have not unlocked him yet. I don't plan to in the near future, so I can't really give you my full opinion on him. However, from what I've seen in videos and from word of mouth, he seems to be kind of underwhelming for his price. And compared to the other native tier 2 characters, or at least some of them, he doesn't really seem to stack up. But now on to X23, which is the only other character that was released in this update. Now I made a full video going into how terribly farmable she actually is, how terribly farmable Netmarble made her. They decided to shoot her in the lab processor and we have to acquire her biometrics that way. That's the only way that we can really acquire her biometrics. Now they did hold an event and it's still going on for 14 days, whereas you can get her bios from the event missions. You go through them, you spend 3 energy per stage. There's something like 32 stages and you have a very, very small chance of getting her biometrics. Thankfully though, they did put in some first clear rewards on these stages, so if you are able to run through all of them, you can actually get a large chunk of her biometrics. Now they did put some requirements for these stages for all the chapters in order to clear them, and I don't really feel right with Netmarble doing this because some of them, like the Wolverine one on the 4th chapter to get, I think it was 80 of her biometrics, you had to have a rare uniform, and a uniform cost crystals to unlock. This uniform wasn't on sale, so for everyone who didn't buy his uniform when it was on sale, they'd have to pay the full price just to get 80 of her biometrics. So I think this was kind of a sneaky move by Netmarble, and it kind of just went under the radar there. No one's really speaking about it. I don't really see anybody speaking about it, but nevertheless, they did allow you to at least unlock her. That way you can use rank up tickets and etc. Now, while she is actually a pretty decent character and she's viable in many game modes, I think Netmarble just slightly missed the mark on her. They did make her a speed class, which is the only class that I can really see her being, maybe a combat class, but I think that's a little far-fetched. She does lack in a defensive end. Yes, she does have a great heal, however with so many characters that have major burst damage in the game right now, it will just take her right out. She will not stand a chance with any of the meta in the game, so I think Netmarble just slightly missed the mark. They could have made her slightly stronger, slightly able to absorb a little more damage than she actually can. Because while she does look really good on paper, she doesn't really live up to it. And I don't say this because I think that every new character should be able to stand up to the meta, but given that she's so hard to farm and that she will take a long time to bring to tier 2 for many, many players, I do think Netmarble should have made her just a little bit better. From there we got 3 new uniforms. One for Punisher, who kinda needed it, one for Falcon, who really needed it, and one for Satana, who was an okay character, but it does give her a very nice boost. So first up, I just want to mention that I have not actually bought Falcon's uniform yet. I don't really plan to, I don't like it, I don't like the look of it, and that's kind of what I go for now. I go for stuff that I love and that I'm gonna enjoy actually playing, so I can't really give a real opinion on that. However, from what I have seen, it does give him quite a boost. I mean, kind of hard not to when he was such low tier. But it does seem to make him a viable character now. He is usable in multiple game modes, whereas before you couldn't really use him for anything. And then next up, we have the Punisher. Now, I have mixed feelings on this uniform. I think Netmarble did a great job with the look of it first and foremost. It looks great, it looks badass as fuck. However, just like X23, I find that he really lacks on the defensive end. Now, his 4th or 5th skill could have easily had an iframe in there, however they chose not to for whatever reason. So I find on the defensive end, he really does lack. That's his weak point. And Netmarble chose to go ahead and make his uniform more expensive than a regular uniform for a uniform that doesn't even bring a character to make him well-rounded. But my dumbass bought it anyways just for the look, so I can't really be one to judge. Then we have Satana. Sweet Satana. This has got to be my favorite uniform that Netmarble has ever released, and I'm pretty sure, just like a lot of you guys, it's for obvious reasons. Now, a bunch of shitheads in the community decided to go about and meme her new skill, which resulted in Netmarble taking it down from the preview screen. But all of us men obviously saved it beforehand, which I think this skill should have actually given more damage to male-type characters. I mean, it just makes sense, right? It's distracting as fuck. Let's roll it, shall we? Okay, let's roll it again. Okay, I'm getting a little sidetracked here. It is a really good uniform. It does give her a really good boost. She is an amazing character now, and not just for the look. Okay, mainly for the look, but in other areas as well. Alright, let's move right ahead to the other changes that Netmarble has actually made. They made a few small changes. Some of them are actually really big for a lot of us players. And one of those changes is they added a rift refresh button. Now, of course, this is for dimension rifts, and beforehand you either had to log out of the game and re-log in, or you had to run some missions in order for your rifts to actually refresh. Now, if someone wanted you to jump into their rift, you would have to go through the tedious 2-second task of relogging into the game. Now, this was kind of annoying, even though it was only a small error, but plus 1 point to Netmarble for actually implementing this into the game. From there, we got a few more small changes. We got some icon changes on the UI. We got an added section in the cards where when you're on a card, it'll show you the cards that you're missing to fill that set. And then we got a change to the ISO sets where it would show the cooldown time of actual ISO sets. Now, this is not really a big deal. It was in the past when everyone was trying to find out what the cooldown time was on ISO sets, but it's kind of common information now. So the fact that Netmarble added it so late is kind of a low blow to us, but it is a good change for newer players. Now, the last thing that was added in this update has to be the worst part of this update. It shows you your roster stats. It shows you how many characters you own, how many you don't own, at what level they are between 1 star to 6 stars, and it shows how many tier 2 characters you own. Then there's a second tab which shows the total number of uniforms. It shows you how much you own, how much you don't own, how much are at normal, advanced, mythic and legendary, etc. And I say this is my least favorite part of the update. That's my own personal opinion. That is because when I look at this and I see that I don't have a character that's at 6 stars or at, legendary uniform, my OCD kicks in and I'm like, fuck, I gotta get them to 6 stars. Now, all the characters that I don't actually have at 6 stars, they all happen to be native tier 2 characters, which means I have 6 native tier 2 characters that I gotta get to 6 stars. And we all know that they cost a fuck ton of gold, so we all know where my gold's going to be going for the next year. I got to get all of these characters to 6 stars now, plus all the new characters that they implement, I'm going to have to get them to 6 stars. So this change here kind of just, for us with OCD, it kind of kicks us in the balls and tells us, get all your characters to 6 stars, because otherwise you're going to have this table here all the time staring you in the face that says, fuck you, you don't have all the characters at 6 stars, you wimp. Yeah, maybe I'm a little psychotic. But anyways, guys, as always, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope to see you in the next one, and that's going to be it. Adios.